Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back here yet again doing another episode prediction video for this week's up and coming episodes. This time two episodes, that's right. We have a 2-hour season finale of Fear the Walking Dead. This is season 2 episode 14 entitled Wrath, and we also have season 2 episode 15 entitled North. Now, I will read you guys both of the synopsises for this episode, or synopsi. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, but nonetheless, I will read you those, guys. You guys can follow along on AMC.com, of course, as always. And let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so we have short synopsis for both episodes here. And Wrath, episode 14, is Madison struggles with Travis's return. Now, what I can really take from this, I mean, it goes without saying, sort of. It's sort of just included in the synopsis. Madison struggles with Travis's return. She's probably referring to the struggles of him, dealing with the loss of his son, Chris. Obviously, he's not dead as of right now, but then we also get to have to remember that, we get to deal with those guys that Travis dealt with, the ones that took his son or influenced his son to go away with him. We get to deal with those guys again because at the end of last episode, we know that they arrived at the gates of the hotel. So, I mean, that could be, part of why Madison is struggling with Travis's return. But it's also probably referring to Travis, sort of being depressed and, stuff like that and not really being himself around Madison or what at least Madison is used to. The synopsis in both of these episodes are very vague. They're really, really vague, guys. They don't really give us any clues to do with the episodes or anything like that. And there's only a promo and a sneak peek for episode 14 of this 2-hour season finale, which is Wrath. So we don't actually have a promo or a sneak peek to deal with episode 15. So we can't really predict that, but at the same time, we could also just say that this is one whole episode and we could just predict it as a whole. All right, so that's what we're gonna somewhat do. So the synopsis of episode 14 is Madison struggles with Travis's return. Now, the synopsis for episode 15, which is entitled North, is Travis's actions cause turmoil at the Rosarito Beach Hotel. So we can assume that Travis has done something in order to get his son back. Now, in the promo, for example, we get to see Travis, sort of panicking up in one of the hotel rooms, looking down on what looks maybe like a riot or something, or walkers attacking. I'm not exactly sure which it is, but we get to see him looking down at the crowd, basically yelling his son's name like he's seeing Chris. Now, personally, I didn't actually see Chris in the promo. I might have just missed him, but as far as I know, he wasn't there. He might have just been screaming Chris because of the other guys that are there. But again, it's not really pointed out right that Chris is in that promo. So he could just be mixed in with the crowd and I just can't spot him. Who knows? Let me know if you guys can spot him down in the comment section below. And that would definitely help things out. But we can definitely assume that Travis probably does something. Travis's actions cause turmoil at the Rosarito Beach Hotel. So maybe he opens the gates for, his son and the other 2 guys, I guess, that are with him right now. And then maybe he, at the same time, unfortunately lets in a group of walkers or something, or maybe one of the guys were infected that he let in, and at the end of episode 14, maybe the guy that gets infected without him actually checking him, maybe he turns, bites one of the survivors that were, there before, because we get to see a huge group, remember last episode, come into the hotel and they were all checked for bites, right? So maybe Travis sort of went by the screening process and didn't really pay too much attention to that, and maybe just let him into the hotel without checking him or anything like that, just because of the sheer fact that they're the last ones that seen his son, right? So that's a pretty good estimate of what could happen right there. That's one of my predictions. I think that's a pretty good prediction right there. That would be a pretty good story arc to let, one of those guys in and then he turn in the middle of the night or something and sort of have like an outbreak. Sort of like Patrick did back in season 4 of The Walking Dead, where he wasn't actually bit, but he did have a disease, that disease that causes, the whole sickness outbreak in season 4 where they were bleeding from their eyes and stuff like that. Anyway, he died in the middle of the night in a cell block, and basically, I guess, turmoil unleashed the next morning. So that could be something that they could be, going towards. That would be an interesting story arc in my personal opinion, and I wouldn't be angry, if they went that way. That would be definitely interesting. And if they did that near the end of the episode, And then the start of the next episode right afterwards would be just action-packed, right off the bat. And I think that would be really cool. That's one prediction that I can make just from the synopsis alone of episode 15 right here. Travis's actions caused turmoil at the Rosarito Beach Hotel. Now, it could be completely off base and, not have any idea whatsoever. But again, that would be a really good way to go, with the episodes, with the series. I think an outbreak of the Walker virus and everybody getting attacked and bitten maybe in the middle of the night would be something good for the show, because it would be really action-packed and it would make it really, really exciting, as opposed to what we're usually seeing here on Fear the Walking Dead, which, don't get me wrong, it's not boring all the time. It's just, it's not as action-packed as The Walking Dead. So for them to finally, step up the show and make something like that happen would be pretty cool, and it would definitely get people, viewing in next season. That is if they have the next season, which I think it's already been confirmed. I'm not too sure on that. Let me know that in the comment section below as well if you guys have any info on that, whether or not this has been confirmed for a season 3. Because to be honest, I have no idea. Alright, so in the promo for episode 14, we get to see a little more of what's going on at the hotel here. Right off the bat though, before we get into what's going on at the hotel, we have like a little bit of a side story going off back at the Colonia. It looks like Nick might be trying to get Luciana to, go away with him. And it looks like at the end of it, he's sort of packing his bags and leaving. And Luciana basically says, do what you do, Nick, and run. And we're getting shots of, it looks like he's, making some drugs as well. I'm not sure what that's about, but he could be just going to make the drop of Oxy, that they obviously could be still trying to do. We have no idea there. But it looks like Nick's leaving the Colonia. So where is he going from here? Is he actually leaving, or is he just going on a run to get some supplies, or dropping off some supplies like that Oxy, like I just said? So I have no idea, but it definitely looks like he's trying to get Luciana, obviously his girlfriend at this point, or the person he's in a relationship with, to go with him. And she doesn't really look like she's having any of it. Alejandro, the leader of the Colonia, looks like he has a pretty tight hold, a pretty tight influence on Luciana. So whether or not that will be broken by Nick, I hope so. I like Luciana as a character. I wouldn't want to just see her get, killed or something like that for a stupid reason because of Alejandro and what he believes. Because let me reassure you guys, what he believes is completely wrong, okay? The whole peace method and hiding behind the walls is not going to work. People are eventually going to find your Colonia, and they did. You know what I mean? They did. They seen him in the binoculars. They seen Nick in the binoculars. So that gang, they know where they are now. And that whole method of hanging behind those walls is not going to save them any longer. Now, also in this promo, in terms of, the hotel, we get to see what looks like, again, walkers either breaking through the fences or just people rioting outside and making a danger for Madison's whole group in general. I really don't know what's going on here too much because, again, they're really quick shots. So you guys check out the promo for yourself. Of course, the links to the promo and the sneak peek will be in the description below, so you guys can go ahead and check them out for yourselves anyway. But they're really quick shots, so we don't really know what's going on here. Are they walkers attacking? Are they civilians attacking, trying to get in? Are they just rioting? At one point, Strand looks down from one of the windows and says, like, holy shit, or something like that. And eventually, it looks like Madison and Strand are, like, sleeping. They're all in rooms together and stuff like that. And it looks like some people might be breaking in, or some walkers into their hotel room and trying to hurt them or something like that. And it looks like Strand takes one of them down and starts punching them in the face. And yeah, I don't know. It looks really cool, guys. It looks really exciting. Definitely some action there. Now, I think that they would go with a different approach to kill a walker. So I think that it's probably, somebody bad, from either the group that Chris was with, or, someone related to them, or I really don't know. Maybe the survivors that came in to the group, or not yesterday, but the last episode, maybe some of them were bad. We have no idea at this point, right? So maybe they want to try to take that hotel for themselves. And at one point, we actually get to see Strand, I believe, talking to Madison. Again, it was cut in a way that we don't really know where or who he was talking to. But we get to see him talking to whoever it was, saying that they need to run. And then the next shot is of a truck basically plowing through the front gates of the hotel. Now, whether or not that was Strand and Madison and Alicia and their whole group just getting out of there, or was that somebody else who took a truck and just got out of there, we have no idea. But we can assume that Travis is probably the one who caused this and or started it. Because, again, with the synopsis of the next episode, which, again, is entitled North, we get to see the synopsis saying, you know, Travis's actions caused turmoil at the Rosarito Beach Hotel. So, it could be talking past tense, you know, Travis's actions at the hotel, you know, did cause turmoil, stuff like that. Or, you know, the turmoil is obviously still going on in the next episode. But I think nonetheless, it's going to be a pretty exciting episode for our survivors, guys. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Strand in action. It looks like he's back up and on his feet now. So it looks like he's better, obviously, from that stab wound from the Psycho Lady. And, you know, it was all screwed up. But anyway, the promo basically ends there. You know, there's a couple other scenes in it that are very, very quick, like Madison asking Alicia for her knife. What does she want that for? Or does she just want to disarm her? Again, not a clue. But either way, I think it's going to be very exciting for our crew. Now, again, just to say one more time, there are a lot more little snippets, you know, in this promo that are very, very fast. And if you guys want to, you guys can obviously go through it, pause it, see what you guys can see. But as far as I know, in terms of Chris, we cannot see him. But in terms of everything else, I think it's pretty straightforward. There's something causing turmoil at the hotel. Now, again, safe to say that Travis is the one who caused it some way, shape, or form. Probably by trying to find his son, by finding out that the group that, you know, his son was last with is now at the hotel. All right, so moving on to the sneak peek, guys. The sneak peek is very brief. It's about a minute long. And I say very brief because, I mean, it's a good-sized sneak peek, but it only really has one little piece of info in it. We get to see Ophelia in this episode, and that's very interesting because we haven't seen much of her lately, and I'm definitely excited to see more of her character on her supposed journey, you know, back to the US. And in the sneak peek, really all we get to see here is a very brief moment where she's basically broken down somewhere, you know, either on the side of the road or she pulled over, you know, to somewhere. We have no idea where at this point, but she's pulled over and her car is basically, or his truck, I guess, in this case, is broken down. You know, it's steaming, it's smoking, and it does not look good for her right now, and she's blindsided by a walker. She does not get bitten, you know, obviously, as far as I know, but she gets blindsided by a walker and essentially fights it off. It actually jams, I believe, the arm or the sweater of the walker inside of the truck hood, which was a very smart idea. Obviously, that would keep that walker, you know, at bay for now until she gets a chance to, you know, get her bearings and fight it off and get a weapon to kill it with. And then she gets into her truck and basically gets the hammer as another walker approaches it, and she basically buries the hammer in the front of the walker's skull. So she's a very good survivor at this point, guys, and we've only really seen her kill a few walkers. She hasn't really been, you know, allowed to kill that many walkers because her dad would really always take care of them for her, and just suddenly she's really good at it, you know? So she's obviously, you know, been through rough times before, and she's learned, you know, some strategies in order to survive. I'm sure that her dad taught her some stuff. Obviously, he was, you know, in the war or, you know, whatever it was, but he's probably obviously taught her some self-defense and stuff like that. And I'm not exactly sure, you know, if a hammer through a skull counts as self-defense lessons. It's safe to say that it's not, but it's a pretty efficient way of doing things. You know, it is. It gets the job done. And that right there is where the sneak peek ends as well. So I think we're going to get to see more from Ophelia. I think it's going to be more on the not so much, I guess, side. Like, we're not going to really see too much from Ophelia, just probably a few clips throughout the episode of her on her journey. But I think it's mainly going to be on the hotel here, guys. I think it's mainly going to be on the hotel or Nick, or maybe it's going to be just a mix of both, like half and half with those two groups, because I think it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what's going on with Nick and why he's trying to leave the Colonia, or why he's, you know, is he just trying to leave the Colonia? Is he trying to get out of there just to survive? Or is he packing some things up to make a delivery? Both of those are, you know, pretty good predictions. Because in my personal opinion, I don't think that he would just leave Luciana there, even if she didn't really want to come with him in the first place. If she said no, you know, just go on your own, whatever. I still don't think that he would abandon her. But I guess I could be wrong, you know. He could just want to get out of there and save himself. I mean, he is a survivor at this point. You know, he's been through a lot, so I don't think he would just throw it all away. But at the same time, he cares for Luciana, I believe. Probably more than Luciana cares for Nick. So anyways, guys, that is the end of my predictions for Season 2, Episode 14 and 15 of Fear the Walking Dead, which again is entitled Wrath and North. Alright, so those are my predictions for this week. Not a lot to go on here. We have very vague synopsis. I don't think that's a word, but nonetheless, we have very vague synopsis for both of the episodes, and then we only have one promo and one sneak peek for episode 14, and we have nothing for episode 15. So this was a short one. I do apologize for it, but there's not really too much to go on. You know, we're blind going into episode 15, but I think nonetheless, I mean, if it's going to be a 2-hour season finale, it has to be pretty good, right? It has to be. There's no way that they can just make a boring, passive season finale and actually get viewership for it, right? So, I mean, I guess they could go that way. I don't know why they would. That would be horrible for ratings, especially for season finale. But nonetheless, that is what I got for episode predictions. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, let me know in the comment section below, and by smashing the video up with a like, it does really help out the channel a lot. And as you guys may or may not know, I am primarily a gaming channel. I put tons of effort and tons of work into my videos every single day. And for you guys to check out some of my other gaming content would mean the world to me. So go ahead and do that. If you guys don't like gaming, make sure to check me back out on Monday for my episode review for episodes 14 and 15, Wrath and North. That will be going up Monday. I will see you guys then. Take care, everybody. Bye. Please, guys, we got to get a ghost. We got to get a ghost. Let's go. Let's get it.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you.
Did I not call it? I don't know, man. I don't know why I keep getting the freaking gauntlets. Like, literally again. It's just the same. I mean, they are better gauntlets, I guess. I mean, that helps. That definitely helps ease the pain, you know?